Let's talk Browns-Vikings. How do you see this one playing out?
I think that this is going to be one where you're going to see a little bit of fireworks early on, but as the game kind of goes on, I think that this game will go by quickly because, again, you have Dalvin Cook on one side, Alexander Madison. Both players played well. I'm expecting Dalvin Cook to play. And then on the Browns side, obviously, Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt. Need I say more? I think that both teams are going to be trying to run the ball down each other's throat at that point, and it's going to be who can stop the other. I do think that the Browns will come out on top. I think the final score is going to be 28-24 with the Browns coming out with the win. So I think that the Browns will be able to, get that extra couple scores from the guys, obviously, Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt. And I am expecting a couple of big plays from the wide receiver group this week. We haven't necessarily seen it as much. We saw it in week 1. But really, we haven't seen that big touchdown, that big passing touchdown on the outside. I think that you're going to see that come this week. I think that, I think back to, Josh Gordon coming back. I want to say it was like 2012, 2011 or so, when he had that big game against the Vikings in Minnesota. I think that you're going to see a big game this week from one of the wide receivers this week. It wouldn't shock me if it's Odell. Wouldn't shock me if it's Anthony Schwartz, able to use that speed on the outside. So I do think the Browns are able to come away with the victory, able to outgain the Vikings on the ground, and able to stifle Kirk Cousins enough to get the victory.
Yeah, I also think it's going to be close. I think it may come down to a field goal at the end. I think the Browns find a way to win. I really do. I think they're just a little bit better than the Vikings. What concerns you? What do you think could make this go sideways and have the Vikings coming out on top? So what do you need to avoid if you're the Browns?
I think it's similar to my worry last week. So, I mentioned that there's not as much pass rush up the middle. At the same time, Dalvin Tomlinson and Michael Pierce, damn good nose tackles and interior defensive linemen at stopping the run. So, if I'm the Browns, I'm trying to get that running game going at a certain point as well. And, if you're able to get the ground game going with those guys up front, I'm feeling pretty good. But at the same time, too, you got to create turnovers. I understand that Kirk Cousins, he's somebody who has obviously not thrown an interception so far this season, but you have to find a way to create some of those turnovers and create those takeaways because at the end of the day, I look at the way that this Browns defense has gone so far this year. You haven't had as many turnovers so far. You really need to create those opportunities. I know that they weren't there last week against Chicago, but you need to create those opportunities this week, whether it be through pressure, getting to Kirk Cousins up the middle, tip passes like you mentioned earlier. Again, I think that they have to find a way to create turnovers, and I need to see them create more ground attack or have that ground attack going full force this week, despite the fact that you have those two great interior nose tackles when it comes to Dalvin Tomlinson and when it comes to Michael Pierce.
Yeah, my concern is losing the turnover battle. So taking care of the football and not being able to turn it over. That would be a way that this could kind of not go the way that I think it will with the Browns.